menu menus. Hi children, how are you doing? Hi children.
Hello everyone, I am Jaya Kagda, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Government City College, Nayapur, Hyderabad. Today I'll start with the topic types of audit. First, before starting that what are the types of audit, I'll discuss the types of audit features. What are the features? It is a systematic and scientific examination of the accounts of a business. It is an intelligent and critical examination of the accounts of a business. It is done by an independent person or body of person qualified for a job. Here, auditor is a person who is a qualified chartered accountant. For that, the work given to him is examine the books of accounts. It is a verification of result shown by profit and loss account and the state of affairs shown by balance sheet. It is a critical review of the system of accounting and internal control. It is done with the help of vouchers, documents, information, and explanations received from the authorities. Statutory audit. Statutory audit is compulsory audit prescribed under statute, that is law. Appointment of auditor, removal, remuneration, rights, duties, liabilities are governed as per the provision of the respective law applicable to the organization. Here, statutory audit is nothing but it is a compulsory audit. In that law, the appointment of auditor, removal, remuneration, rights, duties, all these things come under the statutory audit. So, the respectable law applicable to the organization. The scope of audit work and all other terms are as laid down by the law. It can be conducted only by a qualified chartered accountant. Statutory audit is conducted after preparation of final accounts. Statutory audit has to report whether the balance sheet and profit and loss accounts are drawn upon conformity with law and whether they are shown true and fair view. Statutory audit has to submit report to the shareholder. His remuneration is fixed by the shareholder. Here, the statutory audit is with the law. Everything is related to law. Everything is done with the help of particular rules and regulation. Statutory audit has to submit report to the shareholder. His remuneration is fixed by the shareholders. Government audit. Government audit is a control measure for public accounting of government funds. It covers the audit of all expenditure and receipts done by the executive and audit of commercial accounts maintained by public enterprises. Public enterprises are classified under three categories: department undertaking, statutory corporation, financed by government, and government companies set up under the Company Act of 1956. Who conduct it? In India, the Accounts and Audit Department of the Government of India, headed by Audit General of India, carries the audit work. The duties have been specified by the Comptroller and Audit General Act 1971. Non-statutory audit. Non-statutory audit is a voluntary audit. They are not compulsory under any law. It is carried at the discretion of the proprietor. Terms and conditions of the audit are determined as per the agreement made between the auditor and the proprietor. Example, financial audit of the sole trader and partnership firm. Voluntary audit also covers non-financial audit, internal audit, management audit, social audit, operational audit. So non-statutory audit are these audit where Internal audit, management audit, social audit, operational audit are the best examples. Private audit. Private audit are carried out at the behest of the interested parties, not to fulfill the statutory requirement. The terms and conditions between the client and the auditor define the scope of latter's work. Sole proprietor, partnership firm, certain individuals such as rent collector, manager, and the non-profit organizations such as schools, hospitals, clubs, etc. gets the accounts audited for various reasons. Complete audit. In this type of audit, the auditor is required to check each and every transactions recorded in the books of accounts. He has to examine each and every voucher, document or correspondence relating to the transaction. This type of audit is not possible for large sized organization. In this type of audit, the auditor is required to check each and every transaction recorded in the books of accounts. He has to examine each and every voucher. Means whatever the books of account related vouchers, they have to check completely. Then only the correct picture of the organization has come. Partial audit. Partial audit, the auditor is not required to examine all the books of account. Partial audit is nothing but the books of accounts are checked partially. They are not checked completely. Only a part of the account or some transactions are desired by the client may be scrutinized. Means the client, the accountant or the shareholder, they want some accounts to be checked by the auditor. Some accounts are audited by the auditor, not the complete all the books of account. Auditor has to state the area covered by the audit. So here they partial audit is nothing but they are not covering the complete area. The few books or few accounts are checked by the auditor. Continuous audit. The word itself gives us a clue that continuous is nothing but the complete whole year, the whole books of accounts are checked by the auditor. It means an audit at regular interval throughout the accounting year. Generally, the audit work begins after the accounting year is over. Accounting year is over, the books are generally checked by the auditor. But in case of continuous audit, the work begins the accounting year itself. For example, if the accounting year begins on 1st April every year and ends on 31st March every year, normally the audit work would begin on the 1st April itself. And the complete whole year, like example, 1st April 2020, the books of accounts begins. So books of accounts end in the next year, that is 31st March 2021. So this complete 1 year, the continuous auditing takes place. Means the books of accounts are checked continuously for 1 year. In accounting, an audit work is done almost side by side. Means accounting and auditing are done side by side. That is a continuous audit. Continuous audit, however, does not mean the audit work goes on for 365 days of the year. The auditor may make a periodical visit, say every 2 or 3 months during the year, and at the end of the year, we would verify the final statement of account. It means, I mean to say that the 365 days the audit cannot take place. Accounting takes place 365 days, the complete whole year. But auditing can take place by the auditor every 2 months or 3 months. The person can visit and verify each and every account. It means the accounts can be maintained 365 days, but auditing cannot be done 365 days continuously. If 2 months books of accounts are maintained, the 2 months books of accounts and related vouchers are verified by the auditor. He cannot do day by day auditing work, as the accounting can be done day by day. Detailed auditing. Detailed auditing: in few business transactions are examined in detail by the auditor. Here, the Spire and the Plager have defined it as an audit which starts with books of prime entry and ends with the balance sheet. The checking sequence is arranged in order of recording the transaction in the primary book. Thus, for the purpose of detailed audit, certain transactions are traced through various stages from beginning to their end with the help of available evidence. This technique of examination is also called audit in depth. Detailed Detailed audit: in few business transactions are examined in detail by the auditor. An audit which starts with the books of prime entry and ends with the balance sheet. Means the books of accounts are start with the writing of journal entries and ends with the balance sheet. So in this, we can say this technique examination is also called as audit in depth. Means from the first entry, where the first entry is recorded, till the end balance sheet is prepared, the detailed audit has to be done. That is called detailed audit or audit in depth. The requisite of the goods, ordering of the receiving goods, ordering or preparing the payment voucher, all these things can be done. Interim audit. Interim audit is an audit conducted in between the annual audit. This is conducted in between. It is conducted to find out the interim profit, known and know the financial position at the end of a part of the accounting year. Like the accounting year is for the 12 months. Okay. So in this, for the 6 months, the books of accounts are verified. Auditing has to be done with a 6 months period. That is known as the interim audit. Means half of the year. The period of 6 months, in that period of 6 months, whatever the books of accounts are maintained, in that the auditing has to be done. Would be interim audit. When conducted, interim audit is conducted in the following cases. Quarterly result. Public limited company listed on the stock exchange has to declare their quarterly result. It is preferably through not compulsory to declare such result on the basis of interim audit. Interim dividend. Interim audit is also advisable when a company intends to pay interim dividend. Interim audit would ensure that there are enough profits to justify payment of interim dividend. So in this, the interim dividend is paid to the person. To pay this dividend, the audit, interim audit has to be takes place between the 6 months. Sale of business. In case of sole proprietor or the partnership business, interim audit become necessary on admission, retirement or death of a partner, dissolution of partnership, sale of a firm to a company, valuation of goodwill. In all these situations, the interim audit takes place. Changes in the firm. In case of a proprietor, interim audit may be conducted when the business is proposed to be sold to fix the purchase consideration. Changes in firm. In case of a partnership firm, interim audit become necessary in the change of the firm. An interim audit should be done as if it is a final audit for the concerned period. Thus it would involve not only the vouching but also verification of assets and liability. valuation of closing stock and computation. In all this situation, interim audit takes place. Thorough audit. Auditor has more time at its disposal to do a thorough checking of all transactions. This reduces the risk of missing any material item. Thorough audit is nothing but checking the transaction thoroughly, means with a more keen interest, where the any material item could not be missed. Utilization of audit staff. Audit staff can be kept busy throughout the year. Audit work can be evenly distributed to avoid overwork after year end. So in this situation, the audit staff is utilized completely throughout the year to do the auditing work. In the next class, we'll deal with the other topic. Thank you so much.